Coming up on Look Today, well, the Victimization Real-World Concerns Conference took place at SUNY Adirondack today. We were there. I've got details. And the Glens Falls Planning Board approves new units in the Mill apartment complex in Glens Falls. More on that coming up. Plus, the Adirondack Folk School is in the process of renovating its woodworking shop. We've got those details. All ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone. Happy Friday. I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program, I sit down with Mayor Joanne Yepsen of Saratoga. We're joined by Angelica Morris. She's the Executive Director of the Human Rights Commission of Schenectady. They're here to talk about a human rights task force that's being developed in Saratoga. I also sit down with Dr. Christine Duffy. She's a president of SUNY Adirondack, and we're joined by John Jablonski. He's a vice president of the college, and they're here to talk about new academic courses that are being added to the school's curriculum. Plus, we've got your weekend weather for the Tri-North counties. But first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, the Victimization Real-World Concerns Conference took place today at SUNY Adirondack. Now, the event was sponsored by SUNY Plattsburgh at Queensbury to create awareness about crime victims' services and criminal justice training. Well, the conference keynote speaker was State Trooper Saya Rivasvar. She shared a life-threatening experience that not many people can even fathom. It was a kind of event that shaped the rest of her life and ultimately led her to a career in criminal justice. We were at the conference and we spoke to her about the importance of speaking out in the community.
In my position, I like to be the strong voice for others because there are people out there that are, and rightfully so, are afraid to talk. And so that's why I'm here today, to share and be that voice and let people know that you can survive.
She happens to be one very brave and courageous person. We also spoke to Rachel Sieber. She's a Queensbury town supervisor. We spoke to her about the importance of raising awareness in our own community.
So one of the efforts as part of the the New York State Crime Victim Task Force is to put on events all week long. And so this year, SUNY Plattsburgh joined together with the task force and became a member. So we're really excited about offering an opportunity both to our students and to the community. The event's completely free, sponsored by SUNY Plattsburgh. And the goal here is to raise awareness, A, about crime victims' rights, but B, about the programs we have here to offer.
Thank you, Rachel, for organizing that very important event. In other news, well, the Mill apartment complex in Glens Falls has been sold for close to $7 million. The new owners are Mark Rosen and Mark Paquin. Now, the new owners are seeking approval from the Glens Falls Planning Board to create 18 more apartments on the now vacant second floor. The Planning Board approved the plan. 17 apartments will be one-bedrooms, while one of those apartments will be a studio. We spoke to Dan Bruno. He's the chairman of the Glens Falls Planning Board.
The new owners made application to the Planning Board to convert the second floor to 18 residential units. And they came to the Planning Board. We reviewed that with respect to parking and that sort of thing, the parking requirements, and they were approved.
Well, switching from news to weather. Today saw some rain, cold winds, and you can expect, guess what, more rain in the coming day. Let's see how the weekend is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, we head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first weekend forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. Jumping into our first look forecast right now. Still a little bit of wet weather to come as we're watching this wraparound moisture on the backside low still swinging by. Then a huge ridge of high pressure will be working back in over the next couple of days, really clearing us out nicely and allowing things to warm up into next week. So temperatures still a little bit chilly tonight, especially with those winds out of the north and a little bit of moisture around means some rain and even some snowflakes fly. We'll see very light chances wet weather coming to an end overnight and perhaps some very very in snowflakes occurring as we go throughout the early morning hours. Low 33, winds already coming back out of the south as we wake up tomorrow morning, and becoming pretty variable out of the west as we go through Saturday as high pressure works back in. High 47 under partly sunny skies. Out the door, if you're heading out about 8 a.m., we're expecting to see those clearing skies. Breezy conditions with us throughout the daytime. Eventually winds could gust back up in the 20s through the afternoon. Sunny weather, and take a look at the huge warm-up that'll be with us heading into next week. 60s and 70s on the way for Monday and Tuesday. We'll see another cold front briefly pushing through Tuesday, cooling us into the 50s for highs for the midweek. Well, that's it from the Weather Center. Hope you have a wonderful day. Now let's get back to you, Jesse.
Yes, that strange orb in the sky is called the sun. And no, that wasn't a misprint. That's actually 75 degrees forecasted for next Tuesday. Back to the news. Well, the Adirondack Folk School is in the process of renovating and refurbishing its woodworking workshop. Try that 3 times. Recently, the school secured a grant from the Alfred Z. Solomon Charitable Fund, and they're going to name the shop after the grant. We spoke to Scott Hayden. He's the executive director of the Adirondack Folk School.
Right now we're looking to attract more instructors. The classes we have scheduled will have a much better experience because of this. Much better tools, especially our instructors. So we've responded to what we needed to do. We've upgraded. Some of the equipment's been original for 7 years, and it's a student facility, so some of the equipment has been really well worn, and we've been able to replace all of that. So our grand opening is going to be Friday, April 28th up at the Folk School.
Congratulations, Scott. Up next, I sit down with Mayor Joanne Yepsen of Saratoga Springs. We're joined by Angelica Morris. She's the executive director of the Human Rights Commission of Schenectady. They're here to talk about a human rights task force that's being developed in Saratoga. Plus, I also sit down with Dr. Christine Duffy. She's president, SUNY Adirondack. And we're joined by John Jablonski. He's the vice president of the college. They're here to talk about new academic courses that are being added to the school's curriculum. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. It's Friday, so I want to thank the crew. Ladies first, that would be Antoinette and Dana. But of course, Andrew and Drew, Jack and Joel and Norm for making the show possible each week. And this was a very busy week. We were in the field every single day and every single night gathering stories and information, and the interviews were just top shelf. The crew really put this week together. But tonight's lookout goes to the most special person in my life, my wife, Antoinette. The reason is that today we celebrate our 45th anniversary. Yes, we got married when we were 5. Well, actually, I met her my first day in college, and it was truly love at first sight. I just couldn't believe how beautiful she was. And over time, she became even more beautiful in ways that time proves are truly meaningful. We were lucky enough to grow with the same likes and belief systems. You do luck out to a certain degree when that happens, but nothing compares to the feeling that when you've met your soulmate, and nothing compares to the love you develop over time. So happy anniversary, honey. Love, idiot, balls, jerk.